One.
Hello, everybody. My name's Jack.
And I'm Ruairidh. And welcome
This
to
is
the
Next
First Generation podcast.
podcast.
First time we've done something like this.
We've been
second
talking
time.
about this for a while.
Second time round, anyway. We did
But we'll
record.
go into that.
We did record yesterday, but it kind of failed. It's fine. We're new.
We're new. We'll get the hang of it. Right.
Exactly. So we're going to be talking about, just to begin with, when the first few episodes and things will mainly be about WWE's Raw, NXT, and Smackdown, and covering the pay-per-views. So the first one we'll be covering is Clash of Champions. But we can talk about like the takeovers and stuff as well. And then if you want us to, we can eventually move on to like AEW, ICW, Impact, all that sort of stuff. And then hopefully once the world goes back to normal, we can maybe start going to live events and talking about
that. Yeah, we'll just keep branching and branching. It's a slow process.
Exactly. So the first thing we have for today is we have Raw, which last week averaged a 1.7 million viewers, and this week was 1.6. So down from last week, which it was kind of a lot happened on this Raw, but I didn't feel like a lot happened. If you get what I mean, like there was a lot of matches, a lot of backstage stuff, a lot of Raw underground stuff, but I don't feel we got anywhere particularly with a lot of stories.
Not really. They just kind of feel like they're putting wee touches on them and not actually doing anything further with them.
Well, we opened up with we had Drew open the show, but we had Dolph on commentary, which Dolph was alright, I thought. For someone who, I mean, he's a comedian, so he knows how to talk to people, but for somebody that's, he's a wrestler, not a commentator.
Yeah.
MVP later was amazing.
Dolph is just like.
What was that?
Years, I want to say.
What was that?
But Dolph has just been the same for the past 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely. It should have been me.
Then it was. Then it wasn't. Then it was. Then it wasn't.
So Drew came out, and basically said that him and Orton have put each other in ambulances the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it's been. So now he challenges Orton to an ambulance match, which I think we've talked about a wee bit. And when was the last ambulance match? Was it Roman and Braun? We said, did they have an ambulance match?
Roman and Braun, yeah.
Yeah, correct us if we're wrong on that one, guys, but we think it's Roman and Braun.
Yeah, because it was a great ball to fire, but Roman still was facing that, but that's.
Yeah, because there was an ambulance one because he put Braun in the back of the ambulance, and he got in it and reversed it straight into the thing, didn't
he? Yeah, he did.
So Drew went on to talk about, as he's done before, about how he came up with the Claymore and how it was like how it came about and things like that. And then he showed the photoshopped picture, which I think you quite liked, of the Claymore victims.
Oh yeah, aye. No, because the only reason I liked it is because Big Show was just sitting in the middle of him. He's just sitting straight in the middle. Bruised and battered. I don't know. I like Big Show, but it's just that. Oh, that's fucking funny. Like,
I know Big Show can be very entertaining at times. So while he's talking about that, he turns around to Dolph and goes, "As you can see, you're up there, Dolph," which I thought was quite funny.
Yeah, I guess was Dolph not the first? No, Seth. It was the first challenger.
Yeah, Seth was the first challenger. Then it was Dolph. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So then we had Adam Pearce come out.
I don't know who he is. He's just appeared out of nowhere.
I think he's an ex-wrestler because his name on Twitter is like Steel something or something like that. But he's getting like the biggest push out the entire fucking company right now. He's like on every show telling everyone what to do. He's suddenly become Vince's right-hand man. First time I saw him was when he was trying to get the contracts. He was trying to get the contract signings from Fiend, Strowman, and Roman.
Yeah.
But he came out and basically was like,
Strowman and Roman.
oh, well, it's unsure if Randy will make it to Clash of Champions because of what you did to him. So tonight you'll face Keith Lee, as you already knew. But there's no stipulation is if Keith Lee wins, then he gets to face you at Clash of Champions if Randy doesn't turn up. To me, this is basically saying it's going to be a triple threat match at Clash of Champions. That does just.
I think Keith Lee's. I think Keith Lee might be busy with something else. I don't know. Something tells me at Clash of Champions he's either not going to be in the show or he'll be busy with something else.
Just the way it's all going, because when is Clash of Champions? Like end of October, middle of October?
I thought it was. What are we at right now? We're at the 20th of September. It's round about. I think. Wait. It's either. I think it might be the 14th of October. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, because NXT's takeover is on its own weekend. It's on a Sunday this time.
Yeah.
So
it may be sooner than that. I don't know.
I can never keep up with the dates. So then after that, Keith Lee came down and was like, "Oh." He came down and strutted down with the Limitless One, all attitude and all cocky as he does. Got in the ring with Drew, shook Drew's hand, and was then they went to walk away. Keith held Drew, then Keith went to walk away, and Drew held Keith, and it was a very awkward situation for two people that looked like they really didn't want to be in that ring.
Yeah, they don't really want any of this whole I'm more manly than you are. They just kind of went like, right, let's bat each other.
Yeah, basically. So what was next? Was it Street Profits versus Cesaro and Nakamura?
Yeah. Genuinely, it looked really good.
No, it was a really good match.
What I think might happen is obviously the Champions Club or whatever they're calling themselves are going to be facing Lucha House Party.
Apparently they've called themselves The Fire.
The Fire?
Yeah. Huh? Apparently this was on SmackDown, something I saw while I was reading the rundown. Apparently it was after this many months of teaming with each other, they finally come up with a name, The Fire.
Alright.
That was my thoughts exactly.
They're going to face the Lucha House Party, but I think what this is going towards is it Survivor Series. If it is brand versus brand, we're getting title for title, and it's going to be the undisputed tag team champions.
Hope to God it is.
Between Street Profits and the Champions.
I'm
calling them Champions Club because I'm sorry. That it just seems well cool.
I hope it is, because literally they do not focus on tag team wrestling on Raw or SmackDown. And right now half the tag teams aren't there anyway.
No, they don't.
It'd be easier just making it one title.
Yeah, and then you can actually focus on it more and easier.
Yeah, exactly. So the end of this match was Cesaro suplexed Montez forward into the corner, and as he did that, Dawkins jumped from the top rope and hit his splash and got 3 count. This match actually looked like it made the Street Profits look really strong, actually. I'm liking them more and more every time I see them.
I'm liking the whole Angelo Dawkins does his running spear, which I think he's got a very good spear.
Oh yeah.
And then Montez Ford hits it from the heavens, which is incredible, honestly.
Yeah. But that the splash was good, and then as I said, the Street Profits I wasn't big fan of when they came up. I just wasn't a big fan of the gimmick because half the time these gimmicks fade away anyway. But no, the past year they've really upped themselves and proven, and I've really enjoyed watching them. And they're now the longest reigning Raw Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
Which is something I didn't know until they took on.
Thank God.
What do you call it? Cesaro and Nakamura. So we then had the old Lana, Bulgarian, not Bulgarian, Russian, not Russian, American, taking on the No, sorry, she didn't take on it. Well, she did later on, but she is with, I think it's Mickey James and Natalia, and she's going off on one at Mickey James, saying that Natalia should have had the title shot because Natalia's experienced and old and
Alright.
obsessed with cats and all that.
But Mickey James is more experienced than Natalia though. So I mean,
I know. So then that cut to Vega.
I don't know.
Well, actually cut to Garza and Andrade, who were arguing over last week. And then because they lost, and then Vega comes in, shouts at them, and then goes, "I'm actually done with you two." So she's done with Andrade and Garza, which WWE could go with one or two ways. Actually make her a singles competitor, not with that team anymore, or they'll come back next week and she'll be with those two again.
Yeah, they'll feel like nothing happened.
Yeah. And then Garza and Andrade brawled for a bit backstage. Wasn't huge, but obviously we're now looking at possible Garza Andrade match here, which may be alright. Babyface, who's the babyface in that
then? Garza, because I've seen him as a face in NXT, and he was kind of like the family. I get like they've done it with tons of folk. You've done it with Owens, they've done it with Mysterio, they've done it with a lot of folk. But he's like was fighting for country and his family and all, and it was just really good. He was suave and everything like that. He didn't hit on like the NXT like crowd like he does with the main roster when he first came up.
Yeah,
he kind of just went and was like, "I'm a good wrestler. I'm going to show you how good I am." Aha, there you go. He won the cruiserweight title, and then came up to the main roster. I think after who did he lose it to? I think it was Leo Rush. He lost it to.
All right, okay.
Done that, so.
I've not seen a lot of him, and I haven't really followed him when he's come up to the main roster, to be honest.
Yeah, but I think Garza would be the face in that. I can't see Andrade being a good face at all.
Andrade needs to get into that world title picture.
Oh, he does. Well, I don't know how. He's not going to fit into it until after Mania, I think. But unless he's doing Elimination Chamber. But
yeah, but Elimination Chamber is kind of a cop out for anyone that's in the world title. It's giving a world title shot to people who deserve it, but they can't fit into the story, who are never actually going to win it. For me, that's what Elimination Chamber is.
Thing is, so at least they're still getting an opportunity. And Elimination Chamber is one of the best match types still there.
It is, and it's fun to watch, but I'm just meaning, like, for example, when they did was it Elimination Chamber when Brock was champion? Did they do it?
No, I never done it. Oh, no, wait. Was it, yeah, it was the number one contenders, wasn't it?
Number one contenders, that was it. You just knew who was coming out of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was Roman, wasn't it?
It was Roman, yeah.
Did Braun not dominate the fill of that as well?
Like, yeah. But you just knew it would be a Roman comeback and Roman get. I mean, they're always fun to watch, though. It's always fun when you've got a high flyer in an Elimination Chamber as well. You tend to get a jump off the top of the cage.
Aye.
Unless you're Sin Cara and you fuck it up slightly.
Aye, then unless you're Otis and you just run straight through the pod to the outside of the chamber. There's no words. No words.
So then we had the Hurt Business come down and Cedric took on Ricochet, and we had the biggest lumbar check sell ever.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Literally folded in and Ricochet folded in and out himself. Like.
Yeah, Ricochet literally hit lumbar check and Ricochet did like another 3 backflips on the way down. I was like, what the fuck?
He done the 630 after hitting the lumbar check.
Yeah, he thought maybe he could like completely spin it round and hit the lumbar check.
Oh man, yeah, I love that lumbar check.
Oh, the lumbar check's a fantastic move.
Yeah.
Cedric joining, I mean, MVP has done brilliant. I think MVP's, well, the rumour is that he has creative control over this rivalry. And he's always said when he joined WWE again, he said he wanted to work with Cedric, Apollo, Ricochet, Lashley, Sheldon. And I think he's doing it brilliantly. All of them are finally getting, like, spotlight.
Right.
Which I'm loving. I love seeing Ricochet bat a fight. Lashley's actually looking like a badass for the first time since he came back.
Yeah, he's actually being used properly. Which he should have.
Sheldon's being used properly.
I really hope this kind of propels Sheldon more.
So do I. The only reason Sheldon became a jobber is because he got injured before he did return.
Yeah.
When they announced his return, was it fucking years ago? And then they found out he had during his medical, he had like a shoulder injury and he was out for another year. I think they had plans for him to
Yeah.
come back straight into like either the IC title scene or the world title scene.
Yeah.
But then obviously everything else kicked off, and then that year you had people like Roman come through and stuff, and then they were like, oh, no room for Shelton.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Which is pretty crap. I think next year's Money in the Bank, if Shelton's in it, he should win it.
Be quite good for Shelton to win it. Next year's Money in the Bank, because I feel you've had 2-3 years where the Money in the Bank has meant nothing.
Yeah.
To me personally, I've watched
No, it's just
whoever's won it, and I've kind of been like, well, I don't see you as a top star. I don't see you as somebody that, with the current champions, you can break through. Like Otis, right now, I don't see Otis as able to cash in on Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Which is why if he drops it to Morrison, I'm happy with that.
If Morrison does it, he'll win it. There's no way Morrison's losing it.
Even if he does, it'll be less. Morrison can be a top contender.
He can.
It's possible for him because of who he has been and what he has done before.
Yeah, it would be pretty shocking if it was like Roman versus Big E at Mania, then like the SmackDown after Mania, Morrison cashes in and wins.
Morrison does the Seth Rollins, cashes in at Mania.
Oh my god. Jeez, man, that wouldn't be too bad.
So after the Ricochet and Cedric match, we had the lights flickered, and we had Retribution come on.
Oh yeah.
And not Dijakovic. It's not Dijakovic. What are you talking about? Sounds like Dijakovic. It's not Dijakovic. What are you talking about? Dijakovic basically starts going on about how
the big boy, flippy boy.
They weren't used and they've been chucked out from the performance center and they were not used properly and blah. Which I'm kind of like, you were kind of in the title scene for a while, so you don't really have a right to say that.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm aware, it's Dijakovic, Shane Thorne, May. I think. What's face? I think. Well, Mojo was meant to be in it, but isn't anymore. Apparently, and I think it's Mercedes. She's in it as well.
Yeah.
But I'm getting confused how 1 minute there's like 4 of them, then the next minute there's like 25 of them.
Yeah, I can see why Shane Thorne's in it, but that's it.
Yeah, exactly. The rest of them have had a decent career so far in WWE.
Yeah,
the only one that actually has is Shane.
Yeah, fair enough. Shane Thorne was like, he came very close to winning the Dusty Cup with Nick Miller, but I mean, what, STM 6-1?
Yeah, STM 6-1.
What? Genuinely, once it came back, NXT, they were kind of like, you know what, this wasn't as big as we thought it was going to be. We're done. Like,
yeah.
Which is a shame because the same happened with Blake and Murphy.
Yeah, but Murphy was always outperforming Blake. Personally, that's what I think. I liked Blake, but Murphy was just another class. He is another class.
Yeah.
So Retribution did their promo, Hurt Business. Then I think that was when they went backstage and went up to Adam Pearce, and Adam Pearce was shouting and bawling at his security, and Hurt Business came up, and MVP was like, "I think you need to up your security," while bobbing his shoulders up and down. And then Adam Pearce was like, okay then, thanks for volunteering, guys. And then MVP was like, volunteering? We'll send you the bill. Which I quite liked. It was like, you still have to pay us, you know?
Double pay.
Yeah. And then we had Asuka versus Mickie James. I don't know what you saw of this match.
Well, I just saw the ending of it, really, because like it's no offense to like the women's division or anything, but the only rivalry I'm really into right now is
Sasha Bailey
and Sasha. But it's no disrespect to anybody else. It's just we need something to light the division up.
No, I can understand what you're saying. Yeah.
But at the end of this match, it was like Asuka had Mickie in the Asuka lock, and I don't know what happened earlier. Like Mickie hurt her arm or something like that in a weird way. But she was in the Asuka lock, and then the ref kind of looked at her and then went, right, ring the bell. And Mickie kind of looked up at the ref like, what? No, I can still go, I'm fine.
Yeah, I
don't know what actually happened.
There was 3 different reports coming out from what I've heard. One of them was Mickie got a concussion.
Yeah.
The other one was Mickey popped her shoulder out, and then because folks claim that to see her, even though she looked shocked, she rolled at the ring afterwards and did receive medical attention. Or 3, the ref believed that she'd popped her shoulder out and he called the match. Which, as I said, I would rather that.
Aye.
I'd rather a ref call a match thinking that somebody's hurt just to check their well-being than
exactly.
keep a match going. And no offense, although I like AEW, that was wrong what they did with Matt. That ref should have called that match when Matt's head hit that floor.
Yeah, as soon as the ref called it, they should have been like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Ref really, like, it's not just like a hang up. Like the referee's no.
The referee is there to referee the match.
Circumstances like that, like the referee should have full power. But like, see stuff like, oh, the ref kind of get like hit or anything, or like something like that, and it's like, I miss it. I just kind of miss it where it was just like the ref would accidentally get knocked down for like half an hour after a big move, like super kick or something like that, and then.
What happened to the days? What happened to the days of like the refs getting knocked down and Stone Cold running out, interfering and running away before the refs came out? Nah, those days are gone. I mean, I don't see why the refs can't take bumps because surely if they get medicals as well as the superstars do, so surely why don't you just hire people and then train people to take bumps?
Yeah, exactly.
If they're refs. As a ref, you don't need to know a lot. You need to know that if somebody's in the ropes, they're only allowed to be hit for 5 seconds. You count 1, 2, 3. Some refs struggle with that. You count to 10 if they're outside the ring. You know what I mean?
Like 1, 2, 3, 4. No, come on.
They kicked it.
It's like, you let go. Okay, right. Okay.
I know. I have to every time that happens. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they sit there for another like 3 seconds. On, come on, get it. I mean, when was the last time we actually saw a disqualification from? But it was like Randy Orton versus John Cena. 2003.
Even that. I don't know, but all I can think of is Tommaso Ciampa doing that at one point, and I can't even imagine where. But
yeah.
Well, so we had
Vega then came out with Asuka.
Nia and alright, yeah.
And
Vega came out after the Asuka match.
Yeah, she said she's focusing too much on the past. She's not looking at the future. Asuka's not ready for her. She said, but she's ready for Asuka. The Empress of Tomorrow is too busy focusing on yesterday. And then she slapped Asuka. Yeah. Then I think, we had, was it Lashley and Eric then?
I think so.
Yes. Yeah, so it was Lashley versus Eric. Very easy. MVP and commentary. I loved it.
Nothing. Just went right through him, did he not?
Lashley went through Eric. Yeah, MVP and commentary was just really entertaining.
Yeah.
We had the promo about Owens at the back about Aleister Black. Saying he didn't know why Black was coming, but he was going to regret it. We then had the Owens Black match, which was a decent match. And then Black hit something, but then the lights flickered like Retribution. And then Owens ran up and hit the stunner and pinned Black. I don't think Black should have lost that.
I think Black should have won. I don't see what the point was in making Black lose.
No.
Really, to be honest.
We then had Braun in the Underground, if you want to cover that.
So, the last thing we've seen from Braun, obviously, was him getting beat by Roman. And now he's just showed up randomly and Raw on the ground saying, "Get these hands. I want to get my hands on somebody." Which that Babatunde, I'm going to call him Babatunde. I'm sorry, that's the first name. His name, genuinely,
it's Dabba-Kato.
Yeah, but his name in the Greatest Royal Rumble was Babatunde. Go back and watch. Genuinely, go back and see it. The highlights. You'll see this big what height is he? About 6'9", 6'10".
He must be about that, yeah.
Coming out, and his name is Babatunde.
Babatunde.
So I'm going Babatunde, I'm sorry.
That boy's gonna win a
Really?
world title in fucking 2 years' time, and you're gonna be watching it at fucking WrestleMania, and you're gonna be like, Babatunde!
I didn't realise KSI grew bloody 6 inches and named himself as a wrestler, Dabba-Kato.
Babatunde.
But no, he's Babatunde,
For fuck's sake.
fastest landman. No, but yeah, so Braun came in and was like, oh, I'm gonna batter everybody. So he batters Dolph Ziggler, he batters, what's the guy's name?
Oh, it's
Get the other guy's name in it. The guys
Riddick. Was it Riddick Moss?
who dressed up like Reddit Moss, thank you. Yeah, the guy dressed up like Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
And then what was it? Aye, so he done that, battered them both, and it was like, who else is next? Who's next? Who's next, boy? And then Dabba-Kato, yeah, there we go. Stepped up and was like, oh right, I'm going to face you now. Shane jumped in the middle of them, big ball Shane, and was like, whoa, no, this is happening next week. This is not happening now. Save it. So it was like, right, fine.
This is gonna be
Next week
Dabba-Kato's first proper opponent.
Yeah, probably.
One of two things is gonna happen.
Sorry, Nico.
It's either gonna be like a proper big man fight, and one of them's gonna get beat, or Braun's just gonna completely destroy Dabba-Kato if they're still behind Braun.
I don't know. I don't think that Dabba-Kato will get completely destroyed, but I think.
My God, what if they go through the floor?
Somehow. They break the ring.
Imagine. So after that, we had Seth and Buddy backstage.
Yep.
Seth says to me he's got a very important job for him tonight, and he slaps him, grabs him in the face, says his job is to stay back here and not get involved because he doesn't have time for his mistakes and shit.
Yeah.
And then Buddy goes, yes, and then he slaps him and grabs him again and says, say it properly, and he goes, yes, sir, very dominatrix, Seth Rollins.
That's his new gimmick.
So then that led to the cage match we had, which we had the steel cage match, Dominic versus Rollins, and Dominic impresses again.
Yeah, Dominic's doing really well.
He is just
Ruairidh.
everything his in-ring craft is just insane.
He's like see the thing with Carango, how he picked it up instantly. It's the same with Dominic.
Yeah, basically, Dominic just is like he's definitely born to do this.
Yeah, definitely. It's in his blood.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether it be Ray be his dad or Eddie be his dad.
But oh, shit. Big Eddie.
We will never know. So Buddy interfered.
No, apparently as well. Buddy interfered, and then it was one spot in the match that Dominic's at the top of the cage, and Seth just hits this Falcon Arrow from the
that was
top
insane.
rope, but Dominic's on the top of the cage.
Yeah, and then after that, Seth then started bitch talking to Ray, turned round, curb stomped Dominic, got him back up, curb stomped him again, and got the 1, 2, 3. I think this is leading to Dominic reversing the curb stomp or kicking out the curb stomp.
You think so?
Yeah. I think this is definitely leading to he hits it in the big final match, and Seth is like all cocky, hits it again. There's 2 curb stomps, and he's like, easy win, and he strolls up, gets on top of Dominic for the pin, and it goes 1, 2, and Dominic kicks out. And Seth just is like, what the fuck? So Buddy interfered, ended up hurting Rollins during the match. So then after the match, Rollins gets out, taps Buddy in the chest, kisses him in the head, and then just starts beating shit out of him.
Yeah.
And then
psycho.
Rollins then fucked off, and then Ray's family were leaving the ring, and his daughter, Dominic's sister, touches Buddy on the shoulder, and it's kind of like, are you alright? I was like, what's this? So I think this is definitely leading to a kind of Buddy Murphy ditching Seth for the Mysterios. Plot twist, they're actually dating in real life.
Plot twist. Yeah. It's going to be a love angle now.
The guy that let Alexa Bliss get away.
You stupid bastard.
Biggest mistake of my life.
Nah, but wait and see what happens. Anything could really happen with this rivalry, to be honest.
It's been going on fucking ages though.
Yeah. When has it been going on since? What? Extreme Rules? Before that?
Before Extreme Rules was Ray's eye injury.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
So
Aye.
it's well before that. You're looking at another 2 months before that.
Aye, probably.
So that's 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 months now, 5 months.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah, you're looking at 4 or 5 months, I'd say, for that now.
Yeah.
So you then had Riot Squad versus Lana and Natalia. Riot Squad picked up the win. Shayna and Nia got in the ring. We're still champs. We'll see you at Clash of Champions. And Nia then did a Samoan drop onto Natalia, I think, or Lana, just to kind of show strength and be like, "Oh, I'm the big woman." Throughout the night, we saw Drew and Keith kind of promos and arguing. A couple of times we saw them brawl. The first time was Drew was saying that, let's be honest, if he didn't interfere last week, then Keith was basically done because he'd seen the RKO. Keith then came over and went, "Well, the only match you haven't interfered, I have actually beat Randy." And then went to tap Drew in the shoulder. Drew kind of pushed his hand away and went, "Don't." And he went, "Do it again." He said, "Seriously, don't." And then Keith Lee went, "Are you telling the Limitless one what to do?" Which I thought was quite funny. And then Drew just like sideswipes him and slaps him in the jaw. And then eventually Adam Pearce is like, "Right, if you two don't stop, then this match ain't happening." So and they stop, and then that leads to their main event, which if you want you can take.
Well, so these two, from what the highlights that I've seen, it was just a classic sort of, I want to say big man brawl, but we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Big Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men, but what was it? So they two go at it, and in the middle of the match, the lights flicker, Retribution comes back out, and there's about 25 of them. The teens on spring break or summer vacation rather. So they come storming out. They attack the pair of them, and then the Hurt Business come out.
All right.
And they come out as a 4, and it's like genuinely like evolution sort of thing. They start undoing the like shirts and everything, sauntering out and all.
The cuffs, undoing the cuffs was
Retribution. Aye. That's it. That's when you know shit's going down.
the cuffs are getting undone. You're like, "Oh shit, it's going down."
But Hurt Business were all like, come on. No, sorry, Retribution were all like, come on, come down then, come on. Hurt Business were like, we're not hurrying. We can't be asked for you.
It's our own time.
We'll fight you anyway. So they all start brawling on the outside, and Keith and Drew are in the middle of the ring, and they're looking at each other like, well, our match is fucked. So they bounce off the ropes, run to the other side, and jump over the top rope, doing planche, the somersault planche at the same time.
Yeah, which was quite a sight.
You could not have mapped that out any better.
A live crowd would have went mental for this.
It would have blown the roof off the place, honestly.
Yeah, that was just so cool. Just watch two giant men of Drew's 6'4", 5?
Drew's 6'5", and Keith Lee's about 6'4".
Yeah.
6'3" or 6'4". He's kind of like Mark Henry build.
Yeah. So two over 6 footers just leaping over the ropes like that would have been insane.
Drew's been doing that for years.
Oh, I know. We're just watching the two of them do it at the same time.
Yeah,
it's quite
amazing.
So that was how that show ended. Raw in general was a decent show, but as I say, I've kind of felt we didn't exactly move forward with the Drew Randy story because Randy wasn't here, and then the match got interrupted, so there wasn't actually a move forward on that one. No. Buddy and Rollins, it was just Rollins beating Dominic again. Yeah, we got more with Buddy starting to maybe think about himself, why he's part with Rollins.
Yeah.
KO and Black. KO beat Black, but there was nothing to the actual story added. Same with Shayna and Nia.
Dominic and Seth was good.
Dominic and Seth was good. Match of the night on Raw. was probably Dominic and Seth.
Yeah.
Moment of the night was Keith Lee and Drew jumping over the ropes.
Yeah. Aye, definitely.
I just hope they can do something with Retribution.
Hope so. I still think it's a slow build. They need to keep up with their momentum and then just do that.
By the looks of it, it's definitely going to be Raw superstars though. Now that the Hurt Business are involved.
Mm-hmm. Does look like it.
They're now, and they weren't on SmackDown this week
I think
either.
they should have just been. I think they should have just been on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
I think they should have as well.
Just went completely.
Because it's still trying to take out the WWE, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So then we moved on to Wednesday night for NXT. NXT averaged 718,000, AEW 906,000, and for the 10th week in a row, AEW beat NXT.
Oh my god,
And
I can't believe it's been that long.
That's us back to Wednesdays as well, because they did their Super Tuesdays. Now, I'm going to say it because fucking blew the night away. Shotzi Blackheart, insane. She...
Yeah. You've been on fire with Shotzi so far.
Just... The first time I saw her would have been Royal Rumble last year. And I was impressed. I was like, fair enough, you're NXT, you're new to NXT, and you're top 7 in the Royal Rumble, somebody must like you.
Mm-hmm.
But then tonight, she held her own with Io Shirai in a non-title match. And that opened the show, I'm pretty sure, and it was just so good to watch. She didn't look like she struggled either. It was just like she belonged where she was. I feel that she's got her character sorted. She knows how to talk. She knows how to showman. She knows how to wrestle. Just knows how to do everything already. But she's not well known, if you know what I mean. She's from the Performance Center. She's from some wee town in Florida or something.
I think so, yeah.
So, I mean, they opened the show with a very good match, and then they hugged it out afterwards, and then she had an interview afterwards saying, oh, well, somebody must think that I can hold my own if they're putting me in matches with Io Shirai. So I think Triple H likes her.
Oh,
Which I think next year she'll get the NXT title.
Yeah, don't think it's happening
this year. I hope it doesn't happen this year.
You hope it doesn't happen?
Yeah, she'll be used. She's built up more.
Aye.
Like she needs maybe a good rivalry first.
Yeah, it'd be too soon to push her.
Yeah, none of this fans like her, so shove a belt on her thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that.
Not sure if that's in order or not, but we also had Breezango versus Imperium for the titles. Breezango ended up retaining in a very good match.
Yeah, it was a good match. Breezango, I put down here was lucky retain. Because it was mainly Fandango getting beat up for 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And then eventually there was a couple of moves and a roll up. But I mean, this is to make them look strong for their next challengers and for Imperium to go away because they're way back to NXT. So we had also Heel Ciampa destroying whatever the guy's name is, Troy, whatever.
Jake Atlas.
No, his match against Troy.
Oh, against
and then he had Jake Atlas came out and was like, "Oh well, yeah, I know how dangerous you are. You've been at the top of the food chain. Now it's my turn to eat." And I was like, "Okay." So we've got Jake Atlas versus Ciampa next week, and then we had Kushida came out to face Austin Theory, and continued his extremely violent run.
Yeah, what happened with that?
Austin Theory came out and was like, Bronson Reed beat me last week, was a fluke. I'll prove it by facing anyone tonight. Kushida's music hits. Actually, no, he didn't come out to music, actually. He just walked down. Got in the ring, and then started taking on Austin Theory. And then, in the next point, the big moment, he was focusing on his arm, and then he had him outside the ring, and he put Austin Theory's arm under his arm, ran forward, and landed on Austin Theory's arm, full pelt, which looked quite sore. And then got Austin Theory back in the ring after that, and then put him in that Kimura Lock armbar thing he has, and then tapped out Austin Theory relatively quickly. So Kushida looks like he's still very violent, and he's come back with a new attitude. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
heel or face, because technically if he's going to go against Velveteen, he's going to be face, because Velveteen's a heel. But I don't see the link to Austin Theory and Velveteen here.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Velveteen couldn't appear this week, but they wanted to keep making Kushida look violent. I don't know.
Don't
They
know,
could have
but
just kept
Kushida, I think, should just be going for the cruiserweight title right now.
Yeah, I think they're gonna finish this thing off with Velveteen Dream, and then maybe he'll go after that.
Yeah.
I think I think the cruiserweight division needs to be very. You can jump in between, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be its own NXT or Raw or SmackDown. I think the cruiserweight, the 205 needs to be a. You can dip into it while still being on Raw and SmackDown and things.
I I genuinely think that 205 Live should be cut, should be axed, and then the cruiserweight division should just be in NXT and SmackDown.
Yeah.
Don't think it should be on Raw.
I think they should be just on the two shows. I don't think it should be its own show because you've not got enough talent.
Yeah.
Well, you have got talent, it's just not used.
Yeah.
We had
The
women's
205 Lives now become what, main event level now?
even lower sometimes. So then we had women's tag match, which Xia Li got pinned. I can't remember the people's name. They had an amazing match though. And the two tag girls, the move they did, they somehow went in something that fell into a jackknife, but they switched who was doing the jackknife cover without dropping Xia Li, which was quite cool.
Not bad.
And then they all got together at the end of the match, went to shake hands. Xia Li looked at them, kind of turned up her nose and walked out in the huff. Possible Xia Li heel turn. Wasn't really into it. The two tagging, that was really cool to watch them bounce some of the moves and stuff, but wasn't hugely into the match. Then we had Dane and Drake Maverick taking on Undisputed Era. Serious lack of Adam Cole tonight.
Yeah, he wasn't on it, was he?
At all, no. Which is going to be the first time he's not been on it in how long?
I don't know. Over a year. Over like 2 or 3 years probably.
Yeah. So Drake Maverick's getting beat the crap out of. He's getting a bit of momentum going, then just gets hit down again. Rego's like, that's your tag team partner. And Dane's like, you want me to do something about it? Walks out, picks up Drake Maverick, throws him back in the ring and says, take it like a man. Goes to walk up the rank, and big smart boy Roderick Strong, because he's the smartest tool in the box, goes, I go away, you big fat dork. And Dane just turns around like,
big fat dork. Oh.
Dane just turns around like, what? And then runs down, wrecks the two of them, and then I think it's Roderick hits him with a chair? And then they clear the ring.
Dane just... Yeah.
And then Maverick's like shoves him and he's like, yes, we won, we did it. And Dane just right hooks him.
He just goes, nope.
Which Maverick sold amazingly.
Aye, well, it's a right hook from Kelly and Dane.
I know. And then we had, but Atlas was then asked backstage about his match next week. Ciampa then attacks him. And then out of nowhere, Kyle O'Reilly appears. Stops Ciampa from attacking him and going, oh, you've got a match next week, save it till then. Which Kyle O'Reilly stopped the Undisputed Era attacking Maverick last week as well, so possibly a face turn for Kyle.
Yeah.
That or it's just a bad guy who can be nice, sort of thing.
Aye.
Kind of like an AJ sort of thing. And then Riley does the best bit of the night, in my opinion. Looks down at Jake Atlas and goes, hey, you okay, man? And Atlas goes, yeah. And he goes, good, get up then. And walks away from Atlas.
Yeah.
Which I thought was brilliant.
Kyle O'Reilly, what a lad.
We then had Balor's promo, which, now thinking about it, maybe him setting up for Survivor Series.
Honestly, like, I remember we talked about this, and it was, we both thought it was going to be triple threat, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I seen a post recently, I think it was yesterday morning or afternoon or whatever, and it was Balor, Drew, and Roman. But instead of triple threat, it was a fatal 4-way, and someone had the Walter to it.
Oh, wow.
a fatal 4-way.
That
Because
match.
remember, it's still NXT UK.
I know, but they won't. They've never introduced NXT UK to the Survivor Series mix.
They done it last year.
Did they?
Well, Walter, I guess, and there was maybe one or two other folk I think in it. But
What, the Survivor Series brand match?
yeah, Walter was in. Remember, was one of the first eliminated.
Oh, alright, okay, I did not remember, so that's left my head. I don't think that they would do... Yeah, but they didn't have, like, the NXT UK champion, because that was Pete Dunne at the time, wasn't it?
No, that was Walter.
So why wasn't he in a Fatal 4-Way with...
I don't know, because I think they just kind of had it. Wait, no. No, it wasn't. Dunn was... What was Dunn? What was Dunn doing? Because Walter's been NXT champion for over a year. I'm pretty sure. NXT UK champion, sorry.
Yeah. I don't know, I just think they're most likely just to do a Raw, SmackDown, and NXT triple threat rather than add Walter into the mix.
NXT. Yeah.
Of that fatal for those four anyway. Apologies. Drew versus Roman versus Balor would be an amazing match.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
We then had Damian Priest retaining against Thatcher.
Oh yeah, and then that was a good match as well.
Damian Priest retaining. Decent match. Damian Priest still showing that he's still one of the top guys in NXT.
Yeah.
Always worries me when you see these guys doing really well in NXT. They're going to go up to the main roster and be dumped. Vince is just going to go, nah.
The only thing I can see with Priest though is just the only thing with Priest though is that his entrance and his moveset and everything is kind of like Vince likes it. I think.
Yeah.
Like Vince, it just seems like that's what Vince would want.
Yeah, you could have Priest go up, but we've seen so many people we think that Vince would like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think with Vince, I think Balor's very the show of it. You get one chance with Vince, and even if you get injured, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Like Balor literally came up and got the Universal title. Vince had full confidence in Balor. He got injured because of Seth. Not blaming Seth for it, but it was a move Seth did.
It was that buckle bomb.
It was a buckle on. It was the buckle bomb onto a barricade. And then it was like Vince, although he probably didn't say it, Balor came back and get opportunities. It was like Vince went, "Oh, you get injured. That was your fault. You had that opportunity." It's like, how's that? You can get injured doing anything.
You could literally get injured just taking a walk outside.
Look at Rollins' knee injury. He literally was just picking up. He'd done a move he'd done 100 times. He was doing a powerbomb, and his knee just gave way.
Flip powerbomb.
Well, yeah, he was doing the.
It wasn't even him. It wasn't even him trying to lift Kane up. He just literally on impact done this front flip and then his knee buckled.
Yeah, how many times does Rollins do that? How many times does Rollins do the Falcon Arrow? How many times? You know what I mean?
But yeah, exactly.
His knee just gave way.
Ambrose's. You get, but even Batista, it's just like Batista said ages. Oh no, Randy said ages ago. It's just like, oh, there's a accident on intention or something like that.
Yeah,
and it was just like, oh, I'm sorry, I broke your arm. I'm taking your spot now, and it's just like, well, it's like that's what I'm saying. That's what the point I'm trying to make is. It's not always the talent itself. Could be someone else,
Yeah, it could be somebody else hurts them, or they hit by a car. Vince is like, oh, you decided to get hit by a car. You're no longer my champion.
The thing is, as well, it's WWE's work schedule. They just need to tone it down.
I think
that much live shows.
Lockdown has helped. I think this
lockdown's helped longevity.
They're back down. Well, not just that, but they're back down to 3-hour pay-per-views, which has actually helped them compete with AEW.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine going back to watching 5-hour pay-per-views anymore.
The only one I could go back to is WrestleMania.
But WrestleMania is not a 5-hour pay-per-view. WrestleMania is like a 7-hour pay-per-view.
Yeah.
If you include the pre-show, because the pre-show is usually 2 hours, isn't it?
Yeah. Pre-shows are usually. Sorry, you go.
They usually, the WrestleMania one, they usually start at like 11 and then don't start actual WrestleMania till 1.
Yeah.
And then it
And
finishes at 5.
yeah, the pre-shows at WrestleMania aren't usually the best, but the show itself for like,
Oh, yeah.
well, not counting M34 because they only had about 1 or 2, 3 good matches, I think, and the
What about,
rest was just.
WrestleMania 9?
What about 27? Oh,
Ooh.
let's talk about that one. Aye.
Nah, 9 has to be one of the worst.
27, you had Miz retaining, and you had the core go down to the Big Show and
Yeah.
Santino Marella.
Yeah, we're not going to talk
But
about this.
mind you, at WrestleMania 9, you had Undertaker lose by win by disqualification. So I mean,
Yeah.
anyway, so SmackDown.
Yes, it's SmackDown. Quick mention, we've got the Women's Battle Royal next week for the number 1 contender in NXT and the Gauntlet Elimination match for the number 1 contender
Oh
to
yeah,
Balor's title. So that'll be interesting.
and we've got Wade Barrett back in commentary as well.
Yes, which buzzing for. So rundown of SmackDown, we had Miz and Morrison opened up the show saying they got Mandy away to Raw to help Otis propel himself up to the top. Otis came out and
Yeah,
beat them up and then stripped Miz down to his underwear. Miz looked very embarrassed, even though Miz wrestles in
yeah,
underwear
yeah, exactly.
daily. He then got locked out of the Thunderdome,
Yeah,
and then he then served Otis a lawsuit, basically saying that because he's caused them stress, broken their First Amendment right, that Otis has to give them the money in the back briefcase, or he'll take him to court.
yeah,
Which then after that, that was kind of throughout the night, and then we had Metalik versus Cesaro.
yes.
They were meant to be taking on Cesaro and Nakamura at Clash of Champions. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but there was more Lucha House Party arguing going on.
Uh-huh.
Kalisto and what's the other one's name?
Lindsay Dorado.
Lindsay Dorado were arguing, and then Grand Metalik was like, "Do you want to shut up?" The ref then told them to leave, so Grand Metalik was left alone, which did help focus a bit more. But then Cesaro hit an uppercut and then straight into the neutralizer and pick up a win for Cesaro. I think we're going to see Lucha House Party break up as Clash of Champions, or complete switch. They're going to
Yeah.
beat Cesaro and Nakamura for the titles and fix their issues.
No, not a chance. No. Sorry. No, not happening. Police was going to turn heel, and then that's it. That's going to be it. All three of them are going to go in separate ways.
You can see Grand Metalik getting a push though, because for some reason Vince seems to like.
I want to see Grand Metalik.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you go back and watch the finals of the Cruiserweight Classic, Grand Metalik's against TJP.
Yeah.
And oh my god.
Oh, he's insane.
Like, I loved this when he debuted. Like, I loved his moveset, I loved his entrance, his theme and everything like that. And Grand Metalik was amazing to me.
Yeah. We then had a moment of bliss. And then they had what, sorry?
Moment of bliss, uh-huh.
You said then he had what?
No, I just said that momentum came back when it was. No, I was just saying that Metalik's momentum came back when he was facing Styles.
Alright, yeah, definitely. So then we had a moment of bliss where Bliss and Nikki were talking about how Bliss doesn't actually know what's happening to her. She just feels like it's an urge she can't control. Evans comes out and was like, the only reason you won last week is because Bliss walked out and I lost my mojo. You're too nice, Cross. Yes, the girl who was the broken and possessed one last year is now trying to talk Bliss out of being possessed. And it's too nice. What has happened to Nikki Cross? I love her to bits, and I actually think Vince really likes her. She had a match with Evans here and picked up the win. And I hope it's one of two. I think whoever wins this match between Bayley and Cross, it's not going to be a clean win for either of them. If Cross wins it, it's going to be because Sasha costs Bayley. If Bayley wins it, it's going to be because Bliss costs Cross. If it doesn't happen and just Bayley picks up a clean win, it's going to just destroy Nikki again.
Yeah.
You can't have Cross losing for a fifth time to Bayley.
Yeah.
Clean.
I think if Nikki does win it, it'll be Like, she should win it. I think I really want her to win it, but just with the whole Bailey
What?
point and have Bailey v Sasha in a Iron Woman match.
I don't know if I want an Iron Women match or not. I don't know if I prefer like a Hell in a Cell. I just feel we're starting to get to that point again where the Iron Man match or Iron Woman match is being used too much.
Well, thing about I'm not meaning like anytime soon, like Survivor Series or anything. I'm meaning more towards next year,
Oh no, I know what you mean. I just
go to WrestleMania.
I think I think they're gonna have a match. I thought originally maybe they were gonna keep Banks out until Rumble, and she was gonna win the Women's Rumble. But it doesn't seem like that's happening. The problem is then who wins the Rumble, because it needs to be a Raw superstar, which means you could end up having 2 Raw superstars winning the Rumble.
Yeah, which would be a bit crap. I don't think it will be Sasha. I think it will be.
Here's your question: if an
Sasha
NXT
Grey,
superstar,
yeah,
if an NXT superstar wins the Rumble, do they face? Do they go after the NXT champion, or do they get bumped up to the main bit?
Well, you had Charlotte this year face Rhea Ripley.
Well, essentially, yeah,
She
they get
went
to
to
choose.
NXT.
She went to NXT, so surely if an NXT person wins, they can choose a Raw champion or SmackDown champion. Blah blah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a shout then.
But yeah, Rumble,
Maybe
I think
add
Edge is.
either Edge wins, which is Raw, or they don't make Edge win because you can set up Edge Randy Orton anyway. Edge has perfectly good reason to go after Randy. Adam Cole wins the Rumble and challenges Roman Reigns to a match.
The thing is, I would like that, but at the same point, I don't know. My 2 folk that I think are going to win it is either Edge or Big E. I think one of they 2 are going to win it.
I don't know about Big E. I don't know how much confidence Vince has in him. I just don't, because
Mate, come on.
I would love it.
His gyrating hips.
Gyrating hips.
I don't know.
So we then had Evans kind of went up and shouted at Bliss, "You're going to get the Fiend," and then Bliss kind of got tranced and possessed again, grabbed Evans and did the smoothest Sister Abigail ever, because she seems to do that better than fucking Bray does.
Yeah.
We then had Matt Riddle's random bro moment.
Oh, no, you're bro. I loved it.
I didn't understand.
Really
I got so confused. It was just 2.5 minutes of him going, bro, 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 bro.
Yeah, it was a different ways to say bro.
There was no need for it.
Life. Do you need to understand the different ways of saying bro so you can handle yourself in an orderly fashion in real life situations?
There was no need for it. Genuinely.
The same. I'm defending a segment called Know Your Bro.
I know. So after that, we then had Sasha Banks' promo, where she was like, she said that Bailey said that Sasha was using her, which wasn't right, and Sasha had always said that she was with her. They became the most destructive force, and then she did a very confident. She went, "You are nothing without me." And then she kind of started under her voice, "You are nothing without me," like she was kind of second guessing it. And then Bailey then proceeded to smack her over the back of the head with a fucking chair and try to break her neck again.
Oh, what happened?
Which then proceeded to people breaking them up. Random ass performance center stars. Right. She tried to put Sasha Banks' head in the chair again. Or she did put it in the chair, and then she was going to stamp on it, but folks stopped her.
Yeah.
Voice cracked like fuck. We then had Paul Heyman's Samoan promo, which you can take this. This was...
Oh, that was a highlight.
Insane.
Yeah, pretty much... Well, Paul Heyman was going through how he was talking about Roman, I think, at the start, and how him and Jay were growing up together and everything like that. Then went on to the actual Samoan dynasty of... It was Afa and Sika, that's it. That's the names I forgot. Afa and Sika as the Wild Samoans. Then you had... It jumped to The Rock. Then, surprisingly, it jumped to Umaga, which so it was a flashback and a half.
Oh
And
yeah.
then it jumped to, what was it, Roman again?
No, it
back to Roman?
jumped Umaga to. There was somebody
Was
else.
it
There was somebody else.
Babatunde?
Babatunde.
Big
Oh, it
Baba
jumped to
Kettle.
Rikishi.
Rikishi, that was it, yeah. Because then it jumped to him being Jay's dad now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that happened, and then it was we got all that promo and everything like that, and then later on that night, obviously it was the tag team street fight with Roman and Jay versus Sheamus and King Corbin.
Yes, which was a very, very good match.
Yeah, I didn't get to see much of it, but I know that when we talked about it, you did say that Roman had to come out first, which thank God.
Yeah, he came out first and then did like a promo. Paul Heyman went to speak and then Roman asked for the mic and he basically just went, people need to remember this is my yard, my island, my ring, my WWE. If somebody wants it, they feel welcome to try and take it. Which, made Roman look big and bad again. So then Jay came out. We had some good spots. We had Roman through a table. We had Jay kick out after being double powerbombed through a table. Sorry, Roman through a barricade, like speeding Sheamus through a barricade. Sheamus tried to put Roman through a table.
Yeah.
He reversed it, and then he did a Samoan drop onto the announce table, which the announce table did not collapse, which annoys me when that happens.
Yeah. It just looks
sore.
Really awkward. Really.
Then Sheamus was out, so Roman was hitting Baron. He then nut-shotted Baron, he kicked him in the nuts. And then speared him, and as he speared him, he kind of rolled off him for a second, and Jay hit the splash and got the 1, 2, 3. Kind of the opposite of last week, when Roman did that instead. Which then the music won, and Roman and Jay, they were hugging and smiling, they were being all cousiny and brotherly, they were hugging, and Jay was like, yes, let's do this, yes. And then Jay rolled out the ring, said bye, and as he was walking up the ramp, Roman's face completely changed back to serious, and he just stared at Jay. And it was that look of, I am going to fuck you up.
Yeah, it's like we might be cousins now, but at Clash of Champions, you're dead meat. Like,
yeah, essentially. I think it's very, I think we're going to feel very sorry for Jay. There has to be blood. To cement Roman,
imagine then.
There has to be blood.
If like Jimmy comes up.
No,
when Jimmy comes back, does he go after Roman?
I think they're using this. Jimmy's due back. Maybe Jimmy tore his ACL and he's been out for about 5 months. Usually you're looking about 6 to 8 for return. I think what's just going to happen is Roman's going to write Jay off telly, and Jay's going to return when Jimmy does. Yeah, and they'll just go back to the tag team division.
Yeah, probably.
But there has to be blood for this to be cemented as Roman's big moment, where he doesn't even give a shit about family. He needs to make if WWE are going to let anyone bleed at any point, it needs to be this.
Yeah. The only thing is, though, bleeding when there's a pandemic, I don't know. Like in sports, I don't know.
We've had it already, haven't we?
They're going to do that. Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Rey Mysterio, I guess, yeah.
I think just general cuts as well. I think Randy Orton bust open his match against Drew, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, so he did that.
Was it his mouth or something? Or the back of his head?
Mouth or... No, I thought it was his head, yeah.
Yeah, he got a cut in the head, didn't he? Because me and you clocked it when we were watching it. I think, anyway. Yeah. So then, there were two other things left.
Also had...
On you go.
Wait, what's up?
Sorry. On you go.
No, on you go.
On you go.
No, on you go.
No, on you go. I'm not going. This is us quite a lot, by the way, guys.
We also yeah, we're getting used to this, right? We also had Big E returning and went right through a security guard and Sheamus.
Yes, that was... I don't know your name. Your name's Larry. I'm going to call you Larry. You like that, Larry?
Larry. That just reminds me of the Impractical Jokers. Just Larry!
It was just
happy Big E's back.
It was just the way it was. I don't know your name. I'm gonna call you Larry. Booted him in the gut, and then went, "You like that, Larry?" It was brilliant. And then we
Oh,
had
man.
the mysterious woman. I mean, sorry, Carmella.
I don't like Carmella, to be honest. Like, I just...
If she can come back
It's,
and not be fucking screechy, then I'll be fine.
she's,
You know
as
what I
long as she
mean?
doesn't come back and shout dance break and starts doing that stupid Fortnite dance, I'm fine.
Yeah, I don't think she will. I think this is her to get try. I think Vince likes Carmella, which is why she had the Money in the Bank, and why she had, and she
Yeah.
is alright at wrestling. She's good on the mic.
Oh, she has, yeah.
She's good on the mic.
Yeah.
So I think Vince likes her, and
Yeah.
I think he's just trying to repackage her to get her back on. Question is, we don't know if
Aye.
she's a heel or a face at the moment because she's just a
She'll
mysterious
probably
woman.
come back as a heel.
I would hope she would come back. She's a good heel.
Yeah. Better than a face.
Yeah. So she came back. So the only thing I put after that was that Jade's gonna get destroyed. SmackDown was show of the week for me.
Yeah. We also had as well the IC title.
Oh yeah,
IC title.
I didn't write that down. That's why I'm forgetting it.
No, that's cool. It's cool.
I was too actually engrossed in it.
We had AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn, which I didn't see the match, but I don't need to see it. I know it was probably a really good match.
It was really, 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 really quick.
But we also then had the highlight the week. The week for me, title wise, was it was Jeff Hardy. His challenge AJ Styles and Sami Zayn to a ladder match at Clash of Champions,
It's going to
which
be
has
an
now been
amazing match.
confirmed, and the ladder match will take place. All three men have had experience in ladder matches. They've all been great in ladder matches.
I don't think any of them have
big
had the
matches.
experience that Jeff has had, though. Eh?
No, but that's me back in like the Indies was like he had that whole thing with Kevin Steen or Owens with the ladder match. I think it was ROH Final Battle or something.
Yeah.
They had a very violent ladder match. They've had ladder match at PWG as well. So he's had a few experiences, but nothing like Jeff. Yeah,
Jeff created the ladder match.
It wasn't Brett. It wasn't Sean. It was Jeff. My name's
Yeah.
Jeff.
My name is Jeff. So yeah, that'll be a fantastic
that
match.
It's the one I'm looking forward to most.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, SmackDown was the show of the week. I'm looking forward to what they're going to do. I don't know what's going to happen next week. I know we're meant to have Keith Lee and Drew again on Monday. Everyone's getting RKO'd then.
Yeah, everyone's getting RKO'd.
Even Randy.
It's going to be Randy versus Drew. Mm-hmm.
That's right, Randy's getting RKO'd.
Randy's getting RKO'd.
He's just gonna RKO Drew, RKO Keith Lee, look around, and then just go and RKO himself.
She's like, I have to RKO myself.
From out of nowhere.
Do it. Puts himself in the back of the head and just falls first. Oh, it's a new Ric Flair bump. He just like trips himself up and falls face first.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Well, that was our first attempt at this podcast. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Go follow us on Twitter at RealNextGenPod and subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're not going to put it on Spotify now because we just want to see how it goes. You guys have any questions, feel free to ask us, or any sort of like fantasy bookings you want us to do. We'll do a fantasy booking war if you want.
Any top tens or how it should have been booked. Well, that's we get the Adam Blompier and like the whole team of them. They've already done that, but there's a whole different topics that have not been covered yet. So
I know you could even do.
We've always had that as well. So
I know you could have done. How should have Santino been booked to be the face of WWE? I'll do that.
Could have had. I had something in my head there. How the invasion should have been booked. I know that's already been done, but you could have had as well how Willow should come into WWE.
How Retribution should come into WWE.
How Retribution should be revealed. Like,
yeah. Oh, anything. Just ask us anything. Any questions you want us to discuss after the podcast. We'll probably have a segment once we have questions at the end of the podcast. We'll ask a few questions and from you guys, and we'll shout you out when we ask them and things. But at the moment, go follow the YouTube channel, the Twitter, and go follow each of our Twitters, which are they'll be linked in the bio to the Twitter. So
They'll be linked in the bios, yeah.
So that's easier than trying to
we
get
hope you all enjoy.
Yes, and we will see you
Yeah.
next, hopefully Saturday. Possibly not. I'll
Yeah,
keep you updated on
hopefully
Twitter
next-
though.
Yeah, always keep you updated. That's why you should follow us on Twitter. You get kept updated there.
Exactly. Right. See you guys later.
See you later.